Please don't spoil the movie by adding your own soundtrack.
Are we starting?
Yes, we have started.
Oh.
It's happening. This is
My name is...
Damn.
Welcome
back. Nothing.
Oh, welcome back.
Hi, guys.
Please don't spoil the movie. My name is...
You're really just trying to rush this, huh?
Reese Witherspoon. What's your name?
Reese Witherspoon? That's her actual name.
So it has to be a character?
I thought so, yes.
I didn't know that. That was part of the rules. Okay, my name is freaking Elle Woods. Does that make you feel better?
And my name is John Tucker. And welcome back to Please Don't Spoil the Movie. Brought to you by two sisters who love each other so much.
Sometimes.
So Dutch dearly.
So what's going on? I'm feeling very drowsy today. I took 2 muscle relaxers. I have a prescription. Last night.
Yeah, that would make you drowsy.
But I've taken them before, and I've woken up and felt fine. But today,
what time did you take them?
It was pretty late.
Okay.
But my neck was hurting.
Well, that'll explain it. You took 2 of them?
Yeah, because I don't think one works.
Maybe it does.
So I took 2. No, I'm feeling hella drowsy.
Yeah, well, that'll explain it. Did you drink some coffee?
No.
How's life? Tell us about your cheerleading.
Because you know you want to.
Yeah, what's going on in the cheer world?
So this weekend is the weekend of auditions. Prelims started yesterday for cheer portion.
Prelims? Oh.
Not prelims.
I heard you say
prelims. Preliminary.
Oh.
Preliminary round started yesterday for cheer. Today, this morning, prelims started for dance, and then finals start tomorrow from Sunday to Wednesday.
Turn up. But it's just like from like 7 p.m. to, what is it?
Sunday will probably be there all day.
Okay.
Monday, it's like, 7 to 10. Tuesday, 7 to 10. Wednesday, like 7 to 10.
I just hope, I'm sure you're going to do fine, but I just hope that they tell y'all made it sooner than later.
Son, they have us, like, they're like, okay, once we, like, let y'all know that y'all have made the team, we're going to start practice May 9th. And I was like, y'all know.
May 9th?
Y'all are not going to have us know whether we've made it by now. I was like, 2 years now. I know how y'all operate.
Wait, May 9th? That's so soon.
That's so soon.
When does the freaking NFL football season start?
Literally, I was like, why do we have to start tomorrow?
This is early for y'all, no?
It is. But how they've done in the past, it's literally been like ages until we find out who makes the team.
Yeah.
So, girl, I doubt we have practice on May 9th. I seriously doubt it.
That's intense.
It is. Oh my Lord. I need a rest between tryouts and practice. Y'all not giving me one.
Y'all giving, and it's like full Tuesday, Thursday practice?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus, too much. It's too much. And does that count against you if you miss a practice? I'm like, this is summertime.
I know, right? I don't know. I don't think it should, but who knows yet.
Yeah. But I think it'd be fine. How do you feel?
It doesn't feel like finals start tomorrow. Like, it
it's
doesn't
just coming
so
fast.
Yeah. Like not yesterday, like last year, I feel like I was super anxious, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, like, this is like tomorrow.
This is it. Don't have time to be worried.
I don't.
Which is nice.
So, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But what about you? What's going on in your world?
Nothing crazy. Same old mode. I got called for jury duty.
Oh.
I'm really excited for it. I'm like super excited, low key.
Happened before?
It's never happened to me before. I really hope I get picked, but something like a
murder trial,
a cool murder trial, which I hate to say it, but like I really like deep down inside like hope.
I seriously doubt they'll even pick you.
Oh, why not? I have good stances.
She said, why not?
I have good morals. I feel like they won't, because I feel like I'm too strong. Like I'm too opinionated on certain things.
I feel like you're not fully aware of what you're like walking into. They're gonna have you like sit in a room for like 12 hours.
Oh.
And they'll probably dismiss you.
Oh yeah, I figured that. Hopefully not 12 hours. I'll give them 8 hours. I'll give them my work day. Hopefully nothing longer than that.
Nothing beyond that point.
Yeah.
Wait, so when are you summoned to go?
Tuesday. So I'm summoned to go Tuesday is my first day, but I go Tuesday, Thursday, and then Tuesday of Thursday next week. That's what they told me.
Oh wow, that's crazy. But I guess you got this in the mail?
Yeah.
And you're going to here, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. That's crazy.
I know, right? I'm excited.
I feel like I've never known anybody to do jury duty.
I asked Josh, I was like, have you been called to jury duty? And he was like, yeah, but I don't show up. And I was like, you would go to jail. He said, Dad said that's not real. And I said,
I don't say that's not a thing.
I don't know.
Well, people do it all the time.
Yeah, people do it all the time. But
people do it all the time.
What if they want to make an example out of you?
But I remember, actually, now that I think about it, Megan, she had got summoned for jury duty once. And I think her mom was like, show up. Like, don't not show up.
Right.
And she showed up. And they had called like 30 or 4 people. Only like 5 people showed up. And like whoever, the judge, somebody was just like, you know what? I really appreciate all of you showing up. And the other people who didn't, I'm going to send out a warrant for their arrest.
Love.
Isn't that horrible?
That's what the paper says. If you don't show up, you don't have a warrant for your arrest.
I know.
It's not that big of a deal. He's like, I'll do it all the time. But yeah. But I'd be like, Your Honor, I would love to be part of this case. Like, I don't like.
I think it's my civil duty.
I don't think
to really be a functioning member of society.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair that the only people who get to be part of the jury are people who don't want to be part of it. Like, I would love to do this.
This would be an honor.
This would be an honor.
Your Honor.
Like, you know how many times I listen to true crimes and they tell us about like, I want to know. I want to sit back there and discuss. Like, he did it. He didn't do it. I'm like, bitch, he definitely did it. What are you talking about?
Say that now, and then you gonna be signed up for a parody to the freaking what's that man's name? The one who killed his wife, the football player. OJ Simpson trial, and you're gonna be stuck in a hotel room for a half of a year.
Yeah, going crazy,
not being able to interact with the outside world.
I think the hardest one
for a year of your life.
I wouldn't want to do one where it's just like, did he do it? Did he not do it? Like, I want to know he definitely did it.
Yeah, the facts need to be there.
Yeah, please have the facts there, because I
don't want to like innocently throw a man
someone in jail. I'm like, all the signs are pointing to he did it, but I'm not sure. Which, if you have a reasonable doubt, you're not supposed to convict them. But
oh, really?
Where'd
you heard that on the true crime?
Well, it's just what we learned in freaking law class or whatever.
I don't remember that.
For murder, it's without a reasonable doubt.
Oh,
so if you have a doubt that they didn't do it, you're not supposed to say guilty. It's supposed to be. Or
they
without
don't follow
a reasonable
that rule.
Doubt. Yeah, they don't. But
like, man, put them under the jail cell, they say.
I have a show that I'm super excited for that I have not started yet.
What is it?
Yellow Jackets. Have you heard?
Oh, I've heard of it. Is that's that movie with the girls and their plane crashes or something?
Not a movie. It's a show.
That's what I meant.
I was so confused what it was about. It came on yesterday, and I was like, what? I was looking at it.
Started watching it.
Well, it was on, and I was just looking at it, and I was very confused because it's about them, but it's like it's a flashback and flash forward type of thing. Like,
their plane crashed back in the day, and now they're adults
yes.
or something.
So like apparently something that happened while the plane crashed. Like, I know they started a cult.
Oh,
cannibalism for sure.
Oh,
but something else happened that they don't want to talk about. Like the ones that are still alive.
There's something on top.
There's something on top of that.
On the cannibalism and the cult.
Yeah.
That is too dark and twisted for them to talk about.
Right. Like the people who survive.
Worse than cannibalism?
Well, cannibal.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Right. It's actually based on a true story of soccer players who were in a plane crash, survived, and they did have to participate. But their story, I've seen where these girls have landed. There are bunnies. Like, there's water. They could have. And in one scene, I saw someone with a gun. So I'm just like confused. I was like, I don't know where she get this gun from, but I feel like y'all could have avoided the cannibalism.
So were these soccer players that were going somewhere?
The real soccer players were going to like a tournament, like the same like storyline.
No, but I'm saying a Yellow Jacket. Are they soccer players? Okay.
Oh yeah, soccer players. They're going to a tournament or something like that, and then they crash. But there's a real story, very similar. I mean, they don't start a cult. They do participate in cannibalism, but they're on the top of a mountain with like no trees, just like snow.
Dang.
And then their stories are really good.
That's
really
crazy.
good. It's so good.
Oh wow,
it's crazy. But
how do you know about the real story? Did you read
a true crime podcast?
Oh, a true. Okay.
Yeah, someone did like a story about it. It was really good.
So when you were when you were watching Yellow Jackets, you were like, oh, I've heard this before.
No, I just looked it up and I was like, oh, okay. So it was like loosely. It's just based on that one specific aspect, nothing else. But yeah,
I see.
But I'm really
interesting. I have seen commercials for it. I did want to like look at it.
Yeah, I did want to watch it. I
feel like it's on Showtime.
Yes, I feel like it might be too dark for you. So, but I mean, she has little horns coming out of her head.
What?
Like it's like culty, but like doubly culty, not like frolic and the wind call.
What is the purpose of them starting a cult on an abandoned island?
Well, I will say weird stuff happens. So like I did see a scene where all these birds fell on their cabin, and they think one of the girls is like I'm like this is where I think they're going. I think they think one of the girls is like their leader, and they're like, this is our offering. Like, just like weird stuff does happen. They're like, oh, like hundreds of birds fell on their cabin. And they're like, okay, guys.
Let's start a cult now?
Well, it's just like, they're like praying to like, cult. They're like praying to the god.
I'm not understanding the cult aspect, but I guess I'll have to watch to figure it out.
I just watched a little video, but I don't know how they start the cult. But they start a cult, cannibalism. One girl leads, something happens. There is a theory that they eat a baby, but I don't know if that happens.
Where did they find a baby?
So there's like 2 guys there, and I think.
Oh.
I don't think they make it that far. I know they don't make it to
guys don't make it.
Yeah, they don't make it because it's like, I mean, you see the 5 girls. I think it's like 5 girls who make it because it's them when they're little, and then them growing up, and how do they affect them? Yeah,
I'm sure they're batshit crazy.
Yeah, I think one of them actually is crazy. One of
them, they all should be.
One of them is like literally crazy, and one of them does have her own cult right now, like a holistic kind of cult.
Wow, crazy.
Which I think is the girl that they worshipped when they were.
Of course, all signs point to it.
But I was like, I can't wait to watch it. I'm like, this is my jam.
It does sound interesting.
Yes.
What about me? Let's see. Back to me. The final episodes of Love is Blind has dropped, but I haven't seen them yet. Of course, Twitter is quick to spoil everything, so I already know what happens with one couple. So I'm just like, ugh.
Who was the one couple?
Kwame and Chelsea.
Kwame.
That's the coon.
Yeah.
So Chelsea, for whatever reason, is like obsessed with Kwame. So there was no. It's almost like weird. I don't even like her because she's so obsessed with him. It's like. Oh, she's annoying to me. I don't like it. Mm-hmm. But obviously she was gonna say yes. So Kwame was the one who was up in the air. But I figure it's been revealed what he chose.
Oh, tell me.
He said yes. They got married.
Okay.
The lovely coon man and his blonde-headed white woman that he will worship for all of eternity will live happily ever after.
I just always feel bad for the children, the black children. They'll never know their like history. That like it's just whitewashed.
When they have a father like that, oh baby, no. Chelsea might be
embrace
like, oh
it.
yeah, embrace it. But
I hope so.
Kwame's like, no, they don't need to know that they're black.
Right. I'm like, who's gonna do their hair? Who's gonna do their hair?
Nobody do his hair.
Right.
But anywho, moving on.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Are you ready?
Yeah. Jade has to get to practice. She's very eager right now. But yes, let's get in.
And I'm drowsy.
Oh goodness. So tell me about the story we're about to do.
Okay, think socially awkward teenager. Think traditional 1990s bullies, popular kids, and losers.
Nerds.
Think the newspaper. Think
the newspaper.
Think
undercover.
Undercover. Think second chance at high school. Think prom.
Prom tonight.
Think student falls in love with her teacher.
Gross.
Think young James Franco.
Oh.
Think baseball. Think
kissing.
Love. And it has never happened to you before.
Oh.
And that's all I got. And that brings us to, drum roll please, Never Been Kissed.
Woo!
Woo!
A wonderful but very awkward and cringy movie.
A very, very, very inappropriate movie suited for today's age.
But I'm glad we're doing it. Drew Barrymore is having her moment right now. Everyone's
loving Drew Barrymore.
Everyone's looking at her talk show.
When does that talk show even come on?
That's a great question.
Where do you even find the talk show? I see pictures of it on Twitter all the time, but I'm like, where does one even see this?
That is a great question.
I've never seen it air on television.
Facts. Also, make sure you guys rate, subscribe, tell your friends,
like,
download,
review.
It really helps.
Comment, even if it's a bad comment.
Yeah, and if you have any suggestions for the podcast, let us know.
We won't take them.
No,
just kidding.
Yes.
Okay, summary time. You ready?
Yes, hit it.
Josie Geller, Drew Barrymore, former high school loser turned copywriter at the Chicago Sun-Times.
Yes.
Must pose as a student at her former high school to research contemporary teenage culture. With the help of her brother, Rob, David Arquette, Josie infiltrates the inner circle of the most popular clique on campus. But
period.
She hits a major snag in her investigation. As the publication deadline approaches, the price of blowing their cover seems even more daunting when she falls in love with her dreamy English teacher, Sam Council, played by Michael Vartan.
Never heard of him.
He's in that movie with J-Lo, Monster-in-Law.
Oh, that is him. I do love that movie.
Love that movie.
I think it's my favorite J-Lo movie.
That and Enough.
That's yours. Yes.
Enough is great film. Okay, let's dive in. I am really starting to get upset. I feel like movies like this, where it's based in the 90s, we have teenagers and we have multiple people playing like multiple roles. Like we have multiple teen characters. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh.
I don't understand why I'm not able to find so-and-so was up for this role, but they didn't get it, and so-and-so got it instead, but I can't find that anymore.
Maybe it's not interesting.
Maybe not, but whatever.
Like, they're not people you would know.
I do feel like this film was definitely the big hit for a lot of, well, not for a lot of people, really for only like two people in the movie. But,
like the up-and-coming film. Their breakthrough
their
role.
breakthrough role.
Who's that?
Jessica Alba and James Franco.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say...
Drew Barrymore?
Yeah.
You know she's been acting since she was like
I know, but I don't know. I wouldn't have seen those two as just a breakout role.
This was James Franco's first movie.
Oh, okay.
And I think this was one of Jessica's first, second, third is one of those.
Yeah.
She was like a teenager. She was only 17. So yeah. The film is a romantic comedy directed by Raja Gosselin and written by Abby Coyne. Okay, Lily Shaboshki, I don't know, who plays the nerdy best friend of Josie, the tall, skinny girl. She was offered the role of the mean girl Kristen.
Oh.
Which one was Kristen? There's Kirsten.
Kristen, I think, is Jessica Alba.
No, that was Kirsten. So she was, Kristen. Yeah, so she was offered the pretty one, the pretty blonde haired one. And I was like, she's too nice.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah. So, Lily Shaboshki, who plays Josie's nerdy friend in the high school, was offered the role of one of the mean girls, but she opted out because she thought LD's was more interesting character.
True.
So, she took that role instead. Like I mentioned, this was James Franco's first movie. Guy Perkins, the hot
guy,
main popular guy, is played by Jeremy Jordan, who's also a singer in real life, and one of his songs is featured on the soundtrack of the film.
I can see him as a singer.
He looks like it, yeah. The film was the first picture launch under Drew Barrymore's own production company, Flower Films.
Oh, go ahead,
The
Drew.
company has also released Charlie's Angels.
Yes, classic.
And Donnie Darko, which is like a movie with Jack Gyllenhaal, I think.
I think I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
I'm surprised that her little production company was able to release Charlie's Angels.
Why you say that?
Huh?
Why you say that?
I don't know. I feel like Charlie's Angels was a very large film, and I feel like
you surprised they gave
I
it to
didn't
her?
even know she had a production company.
I didn't
so
know
I was
she
just like, whoa. That's about all I got. Budget. Would you like to guess?
The budget? I'm gonna say like 30 million.
Oh my god! Look at the growth on you. I'm
still wrong though.
I'm so proud. You are incorrect, but you're close.
35 million.
You're incorrect again.
Am I going closer?
You're getting further away.
Oh, 25 million.
There we go. Box office.
100 million.
You're getting better. You really are.
You gotta catch me in the daytime, yo.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I guess I'm getting better.
But no, not 100 million. I'll give you a hint. It did not make triple digits.
Oh, okay. So the budget. So let's say 50 million.
Jordan.
You said did not make triple digits.
Yes, but I said you were close. So why would you go from 100 to 50?
I didn't hear that part. I heard triple digits. I stopped paying attention halfway through your talking. Sorry. 90 million. 80. 75.
So stick between the 80 and the 90 realm.
85.
84.6 million.
That's not bad.
Watch options. I'm going to start including this. Are Hulu and Disney Plus. That's where you can watch it. Yes. And real quick, let's go through the cast. Drew Barrymore as Josie Geller.
Josie
Geller, the main character. David Arquette as Rob Geller. Michael Verton as Sam Consulin, the hot teacher that Josie falls in love with. Lily Shaboshki as Aldis, Josie's nerdy friend that she becomes BFFs with.
her.
Molly Shannon, Josie's coworker, the chick from Teenage Superstar. Superstar. And what's that show called? SNL. Yeah. Molly Shannon as Anita. John C. Reilly, guy from Step Brothers, as Augustus Gus Strauss, which is Josie's boss. Jeremy Jordan as Guy Perkins, the hot guy, most popular guy in school. Jessica Alba as Kirsten Lois. Who cares about her last name? But Jessica Alba plays one of the popular chicks. Jordan Ladd as Gibby, another popular chick. Marley Shelton as Kristen Davis, another popular girl. Marley Shannon is the girl from Sugar and Spice.
Yes, I've heard of that.
And some other 90 films. Gary Marshall as Rigford. I literally don't know who that is, so I don't know why that's in there. He was one of the popular guys. The one with the big hair.
Yeah, there's too many popular people.
I think. Wait, is that correct?
Go ahead and stop from there. I feel like
okay. Gary Marshall as Rickford. He is the head editor-in-chief of the Chicago, so Gus's boss. Chicago Sun-Times, whatever. James Franco as Jason. And Corey Hardick as Packer, one of the other male popular guys. And then finally, Octavia Spencer.
Yes.
As Cynthia.
Started from the bottom.
Now we're here. She has an Oscar now. She literally is like the 50th lead of this movie.
She is like...
She's like her coworker that we see twice.
She's a background character in so many freaking movies before she made it.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I always say this, it feels like stars just come out of nowhere. The girl's been working.
No, yeah.
She's been working.
They almost never come out of nowhere. They almost always.
But it feels like it, because it's like, where did she come from? But and then you go back and watch these old films, it's like, she's in all of them.
Like, look at this.
She's in this. Beauty Shop? No, Barbershop. She was in Barbershop.
She was
in Barbershop. Someone was doing her hair in Barbershop. Not just like small role. Like someone was doing her hair in Barbershop or Beauty Shop. One of them.
Probably Beauty Shop.
Yeah, Beauty Shop. She was that. She was just these side characters in so many films. I'm just like, that's Octavia Spencer. She's famous now. And she's on my new favorite show, Truth Be Told. Please don't cancel it.
Hopefully not.
Apple TV.
Okay.
Let's dive in. Any more fun facts?
Nope, that's all I got.
That's all she's got. Dive in.
Ooh, I'm about to dive in.
Ooh, I'm about to dive in.
So the movie begins where it ends.
I don't think I ever noticed that. How the ending is the beginning.
Yes.
I like that.
And it starts with, we see Josie Geller, our main character, standing on a baseball field with 5 minutes left on the clock as she vaguely explains her, current situation.
You're probably wondering how I got here.
Yeah, that kind of vibe. Internal monologue. Cut to. We see the beginning of Josie's story. We see her walking into work at the Chicago Sun-Times in Chicago. Love the city. 10 out of 10.
And she's like narrating. She's saying like, you would never be able to pick me out of a lineup.
Yeah,
because as we see, she's very homely looking. She's dressed like a nun or an Amish woman.
She's the youngest editor there, but she's dressed like she's... Copy editor. But she's dressed...
not a reporter. Emphasis.
Yes.
She's a copy editor.
But she's dressed like she's the oldest copy editor there.
I'm a weak.
She's dressed like she is older than everybody
She is indeed.
Yes.
So she's walking through. You can tell she's very timid. Mm-hmm. She's very intellectual, but just not assertive.
Yeah.
Why am I stuttering like a freaking...
It's your muscle relaxer. Stop taking drugs before the pod.
I'm just trying to get loose.
But yes, we can tell Josie is very timid, but she's very smart. She knows all these words. When someone says the wrong word, like if you said
theater in British is spelled with R-E, and theater in America is spelled E-R.
Is that what she says?
Yeah, she says something like that.
Oh, okay. She's one of those people who's like, we're having a conversation. And then you're like, we're conversing. Those people.
Oh yeah, like, we're conversating. The correct word is conversing.
She's like one of those people. It's like, okay, fine. Get on my face.
She's one of those folks.
Yes. She's walks into her office, and then eventually her boss stops by Gus. At this point, he's like, edit these papers, child. And she's trying to push pitch him a story, ideas to him, because she really wants to be a reporter and not so much a copywriter. But Gus reminds her, you don't have what it takes to be a reporter. You're my best copywriter. Stay in your lane.
You don't have the guts to be a reporter.
Also, she doesn't have the personality. You know, to be a reporter, you got to really put yourself.
Real cutthroat.
Yeah, real cutthroat. She got it.
No morals.
Yes. So she accepts this fate. But at lunch, Josie is eating with her best coworker friend, Anita, and this is where we see Cynthia, which is played by Octavia Spencer.
Anita's also like a huge slut.
She's
huge. She's telling Josie about how she slept with somebody from the mailroom. Yes. Yada yada yada. Then Gus walks in and is like, Anita, stop sleeping with people from the mailroom. They definitely have some like sexual tension there as well.
Little background love.
Yeah.
But the two go to lunch. Anita is basically telling Josie she needs to live a little. Come on a double date with me tonight. Let's get you loose and goosey. I'm surprised they're friends.
You'd be surprised. I feel like,
work friends.
Yeah. You'd be surprised who you become like.
Yeah. You get to know somebody.
Yeah, you get to know somebody.
It's like, yeah, she's not bad.
Yeah.
But Josie denies this request to go on this double date because she wants to focus on her career, and she also says that she wants to wait for the right guy to kiss so she can feel that thing,
that spark, that lust, that love.
You kind of get the idea when she says kiss, like, has she ever kissed somebody? It's like concerning, but she like brushes it off, like, I'm just looking for that thing. So like, okay, girl. The next morning at work, the editor-in-chief, Rickford, he wants another undercover story. He wants to do better with another competing newspaper. It's very 13 going on 30. Let's get it together.
Yeah. Poise is kicking our ass.
Right.
And the Sparkle's kicking our ass, and we're Poise, and we're only selling 6,000 units, and they're selling 1 million.
Yeah, let's get it together. So apparently Rockford, the night before, Rickford, he realized that he knew nothing about his kids.
Yeah, in like a moment of revelation, he's like, I know nothing about my children. My son almost died on a peanut, and I had no idea he had a peanut allergy. Let's infiltrate high schools and see what teenagers are doing.
Mind you, this man is like 75? Yeah. How old is your child?
It's very peculiar.
How long have you made it? Either his child's really young or his child's really old, and how have you made it this long without knowing he has a peanut allergy?
Yeah, very weird. So everyone's in the meeting. Josie's there, Anita's there, Gus is there, and then Rickford like points to Josie and he's like, "You, what's your name?" And with the most like timid response, she's like, "Josie," and he's like, "Jose."
Yes.
That shit took me out. Did you not think that was like the funniest thing ever?
I don't think I missed that. I think I missed
that. Oh my God.
Like, sorry, you know her name's not Jose.
Sorry, side conversation. Uh-huh. It just reminded me of when I was in 8th grade and there was this kid in my class. His name was Joe Worthylake. And he was like a real like smart ass, but he was hilarious.
His name was Joe?
Joe. Uh-huh. And we had a substitute teacher once, and she was like this really like old, like mean hag lady. And she was like substituting us, and Joe was like cutting up that one day in class. And then she was like, she turns to Joe and she like tells him to be quiet, and she's like, "You, what's your name?" And Joe goes, "Joe." And she responds, "Gil." And the whole room lost it. She goes, "Gil."
Like, oh my God.
Even she had to start laughing. Like, even she realized how ridiculous it was.
Oh, that's fun.
He was like, "Joe, Gil." And then she drug it out. Oh my God.
She's like, "Why do I still do this?"
Oh God. Quit. It was hilarious. But that's what that reminded me of. I just had to share. So yeah, she's like, "Josie," and he's like, "Jose," and she's like, "No, Josie," and he's like, "Pack your bags. You're registering."
You had it registering.
No, I said it wrong. You're registering for high school this week.
Boom, about bam.
And that's about it.
I feel like we need to talk to legal before we do stuff like this. Right. Like this is, and I feel like there's another way to go around this.
So girls, I feel like we need to talk to legal
before we start enrolling 25-year-olds into freaking high school.
No, but this is like literally so true because I recently saw an article on Twitter. I think I see everything on Twitter.
Yes.
About a woman. She might have been like in her 30s. And like she registered for high school, you saw?
Yeah.
And like she's in jail now. It's just like, this isn't.
Wait, I'm sorry. When did you take your nails off? I feel like I literally just saw them on.
I was just popping them off casually as we were talking.
Okay. Yeah. I was like, I'm pretty sure you had a full set on.
I did. And now I only have 2 remaining.
Okay, dang, good. Good for you. Okay, sorry, but yes, I did see that. But she going to jail?
I don't know. I don't know if she was going to jail. She was in court.
Yeah, it's just frowned upon.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Because, I mean, you can be 25 and go to high school.
Can you?
I think so. No, I don't know if people accept
you. have to get your GED.
But, I mean, is it a law that...
You can't do that anymore. No. Or ever. You couldn't do that
I don't know. But, those, 18-year-olds who be, still in the 8th grade.
If you get held back, I think that's one thing. You have to repeat a grade. That's one thing. But you cannot be a 25-year-old woman posing as a 17-year-old. That's not functional.
It's the lying part.
In college, sure, you can be 100 and go to college. Mm-hmm. But no, you cannot do that in high school.
True.
There's rules here.
True. But anywho, Josie has been put up to the task to be a high schooler. But because I guess Rajford doesn't know what her role is at the company.
Yeah, he doesn't know anybody. He didn't even know her name.
Right.
So, of course, back in her office, Anita and Gus are like, we'll figure this out. You don't have to do this.
Don't worry.
And then Josie's like, y'all don't believe in me, do you? And they're ultimately like, no.
Josie, do you believe in yourself?
And then she's like, I can do this. I had faith in you, Anita, when you wanted to learn Spanish to screw some guy who was cleaning the bathroom.
Yes.
And Gus, I had faith in you when you wanted to learn how to knit, and I showed you how to hold the needle. Why don't you have faith in me now? And they're just like, ugh.
You don't have the personality.
They're like, okay, we'll give it a shot. We'll give it a go. But ultimately, if this doesn't work out, Rickford has already expressed to Josie and Gus that if it doesn't work, they're both are going to be fired.
And he's not afraid to pull that trigger. He's already fired someone
he already fired somebody at the start of the meeting.
Yeah.
So for literally sneezing.
Right. So to get prepared for her role as a high school student, Josie goes to visit her brother, Rob, who's her younger brother. So she's 25. He's 23, I think. Mm-hmm. And she asks him to borrow his hoopty. At first, he's reluctant, but I guess he eventually agrees to it. He doesn't ask why you need to borrow it. Anywho, so Rob works at the Tiki Hut.
Tiki Hut. They sell it's like a FedEx, but the theme is Hawaii.
Yeah, for whatever reason.
Ultimately.
So inside, she asks him, her brother, if he ever, got the opportunity to enroll in community college, because I guess she's been setting that up for him. And he's like, look, it's not for me. But she's like, this would have gave you another shot at your baseball career, because he was really good at baseball in high school, I guess, but something happened.
He got mono.
He got mono? That's what it was?
Yes.
He couldn't play through the mono?
She says one case of mono, and you're going to let that stop you from playing baseball
That
forever.
Is wild.
I'm thinking, a shoulder injury.
Right.
A concut, anything.
He didn't have the grades.
He flunked out. He couldn't get in anywhere. He had mono. Mono lasts a week.
Yeah, he has no motivation. Very, very low on the motivation.
Very the opposite of Josie.
Yeah, the very opposite of Josie.
Not smart, was popular in high school, good looking, just everything she's not, he is, and everything that he's not, she is. Yes. They're just polar opposites.
Yes, but they're great loving siblings. They're really cute.
But they care about each other, and it's precious.
Yes, I love it. So Josie at this point tells her brother that she is going undercover as a high school student. And he's like,
do you not remember what high school was like for you?
Right.
And he was like, you were an absolute loser.
This is a bad idea.
And he was like, why would you do that again?
Do you remember what they called you?
Josie Grossie.
And she has did she have a flashback of people calling her Josie Grossie, Josie Grossie.
And then Rob also reveals that he's the one who coined that nickname for her.
Which is not even funny because his last name is... They have the same last name.
But he just didn't think it was going to stick.
Right. I can call you Rob Grossie. It's the same last name.
But he wasn't gross. She was.
I know. She was gross. She was. She kind of was. Why did he tell her to get it together?
I'm sorry. Somebody texted me about auditions. Can I read it?
Sure. Not all.
So, Austin, who used to be on the team with me, my first year, he was a captain. He chose not to return for a second year. Oh, I was devastated. But he just texted me and he said this. Hey there, boo. I hope you have the best audition ever. You're one of the most important people that I met on that team, and I hope you can give everyone else the same respect, honor, and hype that you gave me. I love and miss you. Have a great time this weekend. That's so sweet. He said I was one of the most important people he met. I was like, oh my God, stop.
Aww. He's really not coming back?
He didn't come back this year. So my first year was his only a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Aww.
So he chose not to come back. And I was devastated.
Death.
I was like, what am I going to do without you?
I know. White boy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You remember when we were in Orlando?
Oh, like you
Who I
running
met
around.
up with? That was him. That was Austin. Yeah.
That just brought you around all of Orlando?
Yeah, he was like, let's go get brunch. We got shit face. And then he's like, let's go shopping. I was like, oh, no. And then later he's like, okay, I'm going to come pick you back up. And then we're going to go out. And I was like, oh, I can't. I was like, I'm not 20 anymore.
Did you tell him no?
So he ended up not coming to pick me up. He was like, I'm tired too. He was like, yeah. I was like, thank God. Oh, I was like dreading it. He was like, I'm eating a deep dish pizza instead.
Priorities.
I was like, great.
Great.
Thank you.
Sounds like a lovely guy. That's when I said you were in his city and he's like, let's turn up.
Well, he doesn't live there. He was not from there. He was just in Orlando too.
Oh, he knows where the popping spots in Orlando.
He has he goes to he goes to Disney like all the time, and he has like passes to Disney World. He's like one of those people.
Okay.
So yeah, he's like, I go to this place all the time. Let's go.
Was he there with his family?
No, I think he was there with friends.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. He might have been out there by himself, honestly.
For the hurricane or just?
I think he had already planned the trip,
okay.
just like how we were already planned.
Yeah,
I think he had already planned the trip.
That's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
So, back to the movie. Rob reminds her of her high school days, Josie Grossie, and at the thought of this, remember, she has trauma. Full on trauma. She gets
trauma.
She gets nauseous. She runs to the bathroom and we see her throwing up. And then we see her have a flashback of her high school days and her being bullied. So we see her walking down the hall. She's got like baggy clothes on. Her hair's like curly. She's got braces.
She looks disgusting.
She's very pale. I don't know. She's just
not flattering at all.
Yeah. But she's so happy. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
She's just like so like giggly. Like she's
just happy to be alive.
She wants to be accepted. You can see that in her face. I don't know why that makes bully you even more.
And so she's like walking down the hallway. Some jock or jerk, whatever, takes a Sprite, opens up her backpack and pours it down her backpack. And she doesn't notice, but as she's walking, she walks into, at the time when she was in high school, the most popular guy in school, Billy. And she's like, hey, Billy, I noticed that you weren't in math class today, so I decided to take some notes for you. And while she's talking to him, the Sprite has now trickled its way down her backpack, and her legs are open. So it kind of looks like she's standing and pissing on herself. Mm-hmm. And Billy's just like looking at her and laughing, and she is humiliated for, I'm sure, the 1,000th time in her life.
So sad.
So sad.
It is honestly, Drew Barrymore did her thing. She
played this role so well. Because I feel like when I think of Drew Barrymore, like
hot.
When I
Charlie's Angel.
I think of Charlie's Angel. Literally, that's what I was.
That's her personality.
I think exactly, and that's like I feel like that's her personality in reality. So I always just associate her energy and anything like she acts in is like Charlie's Angels. So her playing this role is like so honestly far-fetched to see her in it, but then she does it so well. It's so believable.
It's like so cringy.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's so cringe.
Horrifically awkward she is.
Yes. It's hard. It's almost hard to watch.
And she does it so well.
Yes. But also, and she was also, I wrote a talking point. This was peak bullying too. So she was like, like she was really getting it.
Oh yeah, she was getting it hard.
Yeah. This is like, no holds bar on bullying.
Like Carrie time.
Yes.
Like pig's blood.
Exactly.
At prom.
This is when you get mad, you kill everyone in high school, and no one's mad at you for it.
And like no one can fault you for it.
Yeah, because it was bad. So, excuse me. So next scene, we see Josie. I guess she's getting ready for her first day of high school. She's doing like a mini makeover. It's not enough. It won't be enough. She's making herself look worse almost. And then we see her.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. So then we see her arrive at high school in her brother's yellow hoopty. She looks a mess. She's wearing all white.
She's wearing all white. She has like a boa on. She has on like lipstick, but like the lipstick is, it's like not even
fluorescent.
White. It's like a pale It's horrible.
It's like sparkly pale.
She looks pale all around. She's pale. She's wearing white. Her hair is incredibly blonde.
She's wearing a boa, a white
just
boa.
like she looks like a ghost.
Yes. And
it looks horrible.
She looks terrible.
Horrible.
And then Josie walks into her first class where she immediately sees the three mean girls. These are the three mean girls. We're going to see the rest of the movie.
Kristen, Kirsten, and Gibby.
Gibby. That's a terrible name.
Horrible name.
They're basically making fun of her. Look at her. She looks terrible. Sorry. And at this point, the teacher makes, a worse situation even more worse.
Worser?
Worser? That's not a word.
More worse.
Much worse.
Sure.
English.
Josie would know.
Josie would know. But because Josie's late, the teacher has this thing where you have to wear a sombrero in class for like the next 10 minutes. So now she's looking like she does.
Which is weird to do for someone who's like literally their first day and they don't know the rules and regulations.
Yes.
But she forces her to put on this sombrero.
Teachers were cruel.
Yeah, they were. Just as cruel as the high school.
Yes.
But while she forces her to be ridiculed and wear this sombrero, the teacher asks her, like, oh, where are you from? And then while she asks that question, emerges, which Josie has like a mini mirage / flashback and thinks it's Billy from when she was in high school. But it is now the new kid on the block, the most popular guy in school in today's age. Guy walks through the door.
He's the hottest guy in his guy group.
And his name is Guy.
Guy.
Very confusing. So yeah, he is the it guy. He's the most popular guy in school, and he walks in, and she is memorized by the sight of him. And she gets a little tongue-tied. She says that she's from Billy Bali, and her family were sheep farmers, where she's from. And she kind of sits down and realizes that her first impression has not gone well.
I will say it is kind of gross that she sees Guy, and she's like, he's so hot.
I mean, yeah, I feel like in this movie we fault Rob because later Rob joins the high school, and we fault him for like dating a 16-year-old, but she's not
holding back, and she's older than Rob.
She's doing the same thing,
but it feels better. Yeah, it's not as creepy. You don't see the red flags as hard. You gotta really sit with it. So in the next class, Josie is in her English class, and she meets what will be her favorite teacher and her future lover. Sam Coulson? Is that what you said?
I don't know. I don't
Coulson.
know how to pronounce it. Coulson.
Coulson.
Teacher Sam.
Yes. He seems very nice. He
lets
immediately
the kids call him Sam.
Yeah.
He's one of those.
He immediately...
Side note. Any teacher who lets the students call them by their first name, he's having sex with the students.
Really?
Any teacher... Oh yeah, I'm the cool teacher. You can call me Sam. You can call me Brock. You can call me Dave. You're having intercourse with the seniors.
No.
Let's be for real. Not in this scenario, but like in any other one.
It's a red flag.
Red flag.
You have to have boundaries. I will say that.
So, my back itches.
He immediately notices that Josie is like smart and like different from the other students.
Literally he asks a question and Josie is the only one who is able to answer, and she answers it with like the most intelligence ever. Mm-hmm. And he's like instantly in love with her. Literally the moment the answer leaves her mouth, he like instantly falls in love with her. And he's like, his response is, "Are you sure you're 17?"
He's impressed.
Because he wants her to not be 17 so he can date her.
No.
Because he's a creep.
No, he's not there yet. Don't do that to Sam. Just yet. Don't do that to Sam.
I love that Sam. To him. And also in class, she meets Aldi's, who is going to be her like new nerdy BFF.
And the first person who's truly been nice to her.
Yeah.
So at lunch, Josie has forgotten her old ways and immediately goes to sit with the popular kids. Still
that's who she is.
Still wearing the white outfit, looking crazy. They've already made fun of her. She tries to sit down and almost immediately spills chocolate milk on her white pants. So it's not going well.
My fault for trying to wear white after Labor Day, says Josie.
Right, loser. And then she asks the girls what their hopes and dreams are. She's
like, so what are your guys' hopes and dreams?
Ma'am, I don't even know your name.
And then, before they could even, like, answer her very weird question, Guy comes up and he introduces himself. And he's like, hey, I'm Guy. And then she's like, you are a guy, a cool guy, a handsome guy. And he's like, are you in special ed? And she's a little embarrassed. So she decides to leave and make her exit.
Now, I would throw up. If I met someone who's like, he's like, I'm sorry, are you in special ed?
I can't figure him out. Like his character.
Is he nice? Is he rude?
Is he a douche?
He's a douche.
But, like, sometimes he's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he came up to her and he was like, hey, how are you? I think he genuinely was, like, not even trying to be mean. He was like, are you special? Like, I think he was genuinely asking, like, is there something wrong with you?
I mean, the bullying is definitely different. It's not as, like, gross as it was when she was in high school.
Yeah.
But she's still not fitting.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So after school, Josie is surprised to see that her car is missing. And then Aldiz walks up and tells her all the cool kids do it to all the new kids. They hit your car, and they watch from the roof while you look for it for hours aimlessly.
Oh.
And Aldiz is like, until you find your car, do you want to go grab some food, go for a walk? And Josie's like, I would like that very much.
I would love that.
I would love that. So they go on a little date. Josie and Aldiz are talking. Josie again asks Aldiz, what are your hopes and dreams? Aldiz answers, she wants to do like 1,000 things. Yes. She wants to be a professor. She wants to be a writer. And then ultimately she wants to go to Northwestern. And Josie's like, oh my God, I went there. And Aldiz is like, for what? And then Josie's like, oh, I forgot I'm supposed to be 17. I went there to use the bathroom. They have really nice facilities. And Aldiz is like, okay, you're weird. You're weird.
Yeah, I know. But I love LD. She's so nice. She reminds me of, what's the girl in Mean Girls?
Janice.
Janice. Like a toned down version of Janice.
Yeah.
But like genuinely nice.
Yeah. She's pretty too.
She is pretty. She's very like 80s pretty.
Yeah, she is.
I put her on a cover of a magazine in black and white.
And she's so tall.
She's so tall. I wonder what happened to her as an actor. Anywho.
Yeah.
So while they're eating, Gus calls her boss, and he asks her about this new story that she tried to pitch to him. And apparently Josie wants to do an expose about the cafeteria food. And of course Gus is like, that's stupid. I need you to find me something interesting. So throughout this whole film, we're going to see Josie propose these stupid pitches to Gus. And Gus is like, we need something salacious. We need something drama. We need something
that isn't boring and dumb.
Yes. We're in high school. Give me high school-esque drama. But back at school, Josie and Aldiz go to get Josie's car, which is parked on the football field. Messed up. And at this point, Aldiz invites Josie to join the Denominators. I want to say the Dementors. I can't help myself from not saying that. The Dominators, which is
like the math club.
Yeah, it's like Mean Girls Math Club. But I think they do calculus, which is
math.
Yeah, I'm saying
mathletes.
The mathletes,
and of course Josie agreed. She's like, "Oh my God, yes,
I love." And we see basically a montage of her having a great time with the nerds. She's fitting right in. They have matching sweaters. They're walking down the hallways. They're doing competitions. Josie's kicking butt. And she's really killing this aspect of her high school career. These are the greatest people you'll ever meet.
And
Mean Girls term. Yes.
So back in English class with teacher Sam, he's giving a speech about something Shakespeare related, and Josie appears to be falling for him. Yes. She's like memorized and captivated by every word that's leaving his mouth. And then Sam asks Josie to recite an excerpt from like one of the Shakespeare novels that they're reading. And first of all, she stands up. I was like, why are you standing up? You can do it from the chair.
But I would stand up.
So she stands up, and then she instantly has a flashback to when she read a poem to Billy, the most popular guy in school, when she was in high school.
Does he notice me? Does he hear my heart screaming his name? Sometimes it's so loud I think that the gods can hear my pain. His voice is so mellifluous. If I could just get one kiss.
While she is reading the poem, Billy is laughing amongst the other members in the classroom. But she's giving it her all.
She doesn't. It's like she has no self-awareness.
She has
laughing at you.
Self-awareness.
It's
cringeworthy. So that happens. So later, after reading the poem, she's in the library. Her friend emerges. She's like, "What have you wanted the most thing out of life?" And she's like, "To be the most popular girl to school." And Billy Price asked me to prom. And she's like, "Yes, that's happening." And then she's like, "Oh my God, it must have been the poem. The poem must have worked." So she thinks that Billy will be asking her to prom.
After I saw that she had a friend, I was like, oh, she wasn't completely...
I mean, yeah, every nerd has a friend.
But my thing, she was always chasing these to be friends with like these popular kids. She was always chasing.
I mean, that's what every nerd does.
I know, but I feel like
in this, she's friends with Aldiz, but she wants to be in with the popular people.
Right, but I feel like at the end she realizes, why am I chasing these?
I mean, yes, that's the moral of the
story,
film,
but like she's always doing it. Because I always thought she was just like by herself, but I was like, oh, she did have a friend. Why shouldn't she just focus on her and her friend?
That's not what you do when you're a nerd. You always secretly want to be a part of the cool people.
Oh, so bad.
Duh.
She was flying way too close to the freaking sun, dude.
Right.
So back in reality, while Josie was reading her poem, the school is interrupted with excitement as it is announced. That is the prom theme for this year is announced, which is the millennium.
Because this movie set in 1999.
Yeah, whatever that means. I don't know how you dress up like that.
Futuristic,
I guess. Which is just like, I don't know. When I think futuristic, I think like 2050 or something back in that day.
They're probably going to dress up like what they think will be the fashion in the new millennium.
It's not much different.
Space. Xenon car.
Yes. We get a scene where Guy comes up with a new phrase. Rufus. And
he's like, prom is going to be totally Rufus. Spread the word.
It's like so fetch.
It's literally fetch.
But it actually happens.
Sorry. Did Mean Girls copy this entire film?
It's like, this is like a summary. It has like different aspects of every high school movie that we've done so far.
It literally has.
But it is giving Mean Girls.
What else was it giving? I mean, like, what else gave Mean Girls in this? Dallas reminds us of Janice Ian.
The popular, so fetch, prom.
There was something else we just said.
Denominators.
Oh, the mathletes. That's what it was. Yeah, the mathletes.
The teacher. I mean, she didn't love her teacher, but a strong teacher role.
Yeah. Copying.
But that night, Josie is driving around with Aldiz.
They're singing some kind of song.
I also thought that was inappropriate. I'm like, girl, you're really becoming friends with this girl.
That's her friend.
That's her friend. Like,
they're
Jesus.
Like, they got ice cream. They got milkshakes in their hand. They're sitting in the car. They even got a little girl. It must be Aldiz's little sister
in the back.
They got Aldiz's little sister in the back. They having a party in the car. They singing sing-along. They are, like, nerding it out in the car.
They're really friends. She's really friends with this child.
They have really forged a friendship.
It's like cute, but like terrible.
I thought it was adorable.
It is adorable, but she's lying to her.
It's okay.
So they pass this place called The Court, which is where all the cool kids hang out. And at one point, I guess Guy sees them rolling up.
Literally, they stop the car seconds. For 0.2 seconds, and he's instantly at the window. What are you doing here? Like, literally, the car is probably still rolling.
Yes.
He's already at the window. Why the hell are you here?
Sir.
And I was like, How? And then he's basically like, don't actually think that you guys are going to be able to hang out with us here at the court. And then they're like, basically Aldiz is talking for them. And she's like, oh my goodness, where was my invitation? Yes, I totally want to hang out with you guys and watch fire burn and drink alcohol. What a party. And he's like, why don't you just go back to your calculator and your computer and leave us alone because you can't be here. All right, sweetie? And then,
and I think guys is me.
That part was really
that was so mean.
Because he literally, I don't remember everything he says.
No, he says something about like your calculator.
Yeah, he does say something about your calculator. He goes in on them.
But I love Aldiz's like responses. Like she always has a little comeback for them.
Yeah, she's a witty little twit.
Yeah. Not twit.
So then they drive off. And Josie was like, basically asked her, have you ever wanted to actually hang out at the court? And they're both kind of like holding back tears. Yeah. And Aldiz is like, are you kidding me, Josie? Why would I ever want to do that and hang out with those losers? But deep down inside, she knows she wants to be in it.
Yeah.
And then so their tears kind of turn into laughter because they kind of like brush it off, and then they continue on with the rest of their evening.
Yeah, they were having a great time. Forget the court. But the next morning at the office, Gus is upset to see an article in a rival newspaper talking about the court, where the cool kids at high school hang out, do drugs,
have sex, all that crazy stuff.
And he tells Josie that she needs to become friends with the cool kids, and she needs to infiltrate that group because that's where the story is. And if she doesn't do it, they both would be fired. So get to it.
So then Josie's back at her house with her brother Rob. He's staying over for the night, and she expresses how she's like really struggling being in high school again. She's not fitting in, and she can't get in with the popular kids. And then Rob is basically like, he gives her like this great pep talk, and he's like, Josie, you have the opportunity to redo this all over again. Like, you don't have to be Josie Grossie anymore. You can be popular. You can be whatever you want to be.
Yes.
This is your opportunity to reinvent yourself.
Push.
He's like, you have to stand your ground, and you are not Josie Grossie anymore. Say it with me. And she's like, I'm not Josie Grossie anymore. And he's like, that's right. Take the bull by the horns and do what you got to do.
I love their brother.
I love their relationship.
It's so
precious.
nice. And usually I feel like when one kid's popular and one kid's a nerd,
They like hate each other.
They hate each
Like
other,
he
right?
would like literally be, you would think like he would be so mean to her.
but
But
I feel
he's
like
not.
he
loves her. He loves his big sister.
Oh, it's so cute.
He's so precious.
We haven't gotten there, but the scene when she goes to prom the first time and he's like, have fun.
Yeah.
It kills me.
He's like, all right, have fun. I don't know why when I was watching it, I was like, I wonder if he's in on it.
Don't do that. I don't think so.
I
But he
don't
should have known, right?
Just the way, I don't know, the way he said it to me, it seemed like he knew there was fuckery afoot.
No. I think he's too dumb. No,
Maybe.
he's too dumb.
I hope not.
But also, while we're on the topic,
Also, if he was popular, he should have known the math wasn't mathing.
Also,
Himself as a popular boy should have known, like, there's no reason why Billy should be asking you to prom.
And
There's
I also
something going on here, Josie.
I also feel like the popular kid should not mess with his. Like, he's also a popular kid. Like, don't mess with his sister. Like,
Right.
but she was older, so I guess his popularity only could go so far. Like, he's
Maybe.
popular in like the sophomores.
No, he was younger.
I mean, that's what I mean. He was popular with the sophomores. She was dealing with seniors. What you want me to do? I guess. Oh, and then Rob also mentions that what she needs to do is find a popular kid to vouch for her to make her popular.
Oh,
A
yes.
wink. A wink.
He's like, all it takes is one person to think you're
Yeah.
cool, and then everybody will think you're cool.
So keep on keeping on. So the next morning, Josie has a newfound confidence. She's back on it. She's got a cuter outfit. I don't think her hair is as curly. I think it's more straight now. And she's ready to conquer the popular kids. But before she enters the school, she is stopped by a familiar face in a creepy van outside the school. And it's George, a coworker from, the office. And he tells her to get in the van. And he basically tells her that he has to put a hidden camera on her. Gus wants to have a full insight on everything so he can help come up with the story. And he's going to review the tapes and they're going to, save their jobs.
Because Josie is kind of way in over her head.
Yes.
So Gus is taking matters into his own hands.
Yes.
So that night, Josie, she's talking to LDs in the hallway. And they're supposed to like meet up, have like
A girls
night in or something. A GNO. No, GNI?
Girls night in. GNI.
A GNI, if you will.
We coined that. You can't take it.
Yeah. Right. We'll sue. We'll see you in court. So they're having a GNI. But then Josie overhears a conversation about the cool kids going to some party. And it's going to be Roofalicious, says James Franco character. And she kind of now makes it her plan to go to this party.
So Juicy
Couture.
So Josie finds herself that night at a reggae club. Why are even the kids going there?
I was very confused.
I was like,
why in the holy hell are these white children of Illinois going to this reggae club
with like adults
with Rastafarians and weed and black people? I was just really confused.
Right.
And then Jessica Alba character has on a 4C puff ponytail, which I thought was a little bit appropriating. I was just like, why does she have that on?
I will say the hair looks cute, but I'm like, why is she wearing that?
But I was like, why does she have that on?
Why she got it on?
Why are y'all tapping into black culture?
Why?
It was just weird. And I was like, why are there high schoolers here? But then why is the teacher here also? It was a very weird and random setup.
It was a very weird, random setup. I guess that was the only way they can get, because I guess they wanted Sam in here, but they also want the high school. I guess this was the only way they could find.
And they were like, what's the way that the high schoolers would go to and this adult would go to?
Like, I guess that was their only way.
So yeah, she's at this weird like Rastafarian club, reggae club. The cool kids are there. Kristen, Kirsten, and Gibby are doing this like synchronized dance that looks really cute, by the way. Sam's also there with his girlfriend who's a bit uptight. And Josie bumps into them. Basically, they introduce themselves. Sam's like, this is my girlfriend. She lives in New York. Basically, she reveals, the girlfriend, that Sam will be moving to New York to be with her. It's giving 13.
They going on 30. When I saw that, I was like, oh,
it's giving 13 going on 30. And that he'll be moving there to live with her in New York. Josie seems a little bit upset about it. But she's like, well, it was nice meeting you. Congratulations. Yeah.
I also want to say that his girlfriend seems very not into like his style or like the way he wants. She's giving like, I want you to grow up. I don't want to be here. Why do you want to be at this reggae function?
Which I thought was weird because I was like, first of all, I still don't understand what kind of function this is.
I guess it's like a band performing.
It's not like they were at like a nightclub. Then I could understand like, oh, I can't wait. You're at like a reggae club.
Yeah,
it's like chill.
Right. She doesn't seem into whatever he's into. She doesn't seem into, which is a problem.
Yeah, they're opposites.
Polar opposites, kind of. She's wearing a suit. He's dressed like an English teacher. So it's not going to work.
Right. So then Josie makes her exit and she tries to hang out with the popular kids. Of course, they blow her off. Then instead, she sees this like table of Rastafarians. And then she's like, hey, can I sit with y'all? And they're like, sure, man. Of course, everybody's welcome. Come sit down with us. And then they offer her ultimately a weed brownie. And she doesn't know.
Yeah. They call it a ganja cake. So they use the word, but I guess she didn't know.
She doesn't know what ganja means.
Yeah.
So then she takes it, and then, I feel like when you're high and you take an edible, you're supposed to be like calm and chill.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, you would swear to God she snorted cocaine, and it has the exact opposite effect on her. She is like full of energy. Of course, she's like laughing, which, being high does to you. But like, they're annoyed with her. The Rastafarians are like, she is not blowing the vibe. Man. I do not love her. And she like gets up, she gets on the stage, she starts dancing. She does a split. She finds another boa. And
she does.
She takes it and she like strings the boa in between her legs. She's like dancing and bopping, booping and bopping awkwardly.
She smacks her butt.
She slaps her butt and she's up there. Sam's watching her. All the cool kids are watching her. And she thinks she looks cool, but she in fact looks like a fool.
Sam likes it.
Sam's into it.
Sam's the only one.
Sam's the only one.
Sam's the only one.
He doesn't. It don't matter what Josie do. He gonna get all hot and heavy behind it.
He's like, oh, look at her go.
Look at her. That rascal. And
I think this is the first time we see James Franco's character.
It is not.
That's the first time I noticed him.
Are you serious?
When else is he coming?
We've seen him. He was like, when he said, they were talking about the party, and he was like, this is going to be Rufalicious.
Oh, that's who he was talking to.
When they announced, he's in the background. You see him if you... First of all, I think it's very hard not to notice James Franco.
Oh, I did it because I don't like him.
I mean, yeah, we don't like him in today's age, but knowing who he is, it's very hard to watch this movie and not notice him.
I literally did not notice him until this point.
When they announced the theme for prom, he kisses one of the popular girls. Like, he'd be in there.
Okay, I'd be like watching this, taking notes.
And then, I guess.
Whatever. That's only this is the first time I noticed it. But after that, I was like, oh.
And then when they announced the prom queen, not prom. Well, he's one of the people on the court.
Yeah. No, I'm saying after this, I noticed it.
Yeah. But when they first announced the prom theme, he says something. He's like, "Oh, prom is gonna be awesome." Like he speaks.
Right. I had missed that.
He's in here, man.
I haven't that. Oh. So back at home after this great night, Josie's on the phone with her brother Rob. They're so cute. They talk. She's like, I think I did it, Rob. I think I've finally impressed the cool kids. I had such a fun night. I think they're gonna like me.
I think I really did it. I think I really cracked the case.
But she's very high, and then after this phone conversation, she falls asleep at the kitchen counter, and she falls asleep on her hand that has a stamp on it from the nightclub.
And the stamp said something. It said a word.
Yeah.
But if you erase the first two letters of the word, the rest of the word is loser.
Yeah.
So the words that make it onto her forehead from when she fell asleep is loser. Next day at school, she arrives. She's all, happy-go-lucky. She thinks she's popular now after her little stunt at the reggae club.
Oh, it gets worse.
It just gets worse. Unbeknownst to her, the word loser is stamped across her forehead, and everybody notices. So everyone's like, loser, loser. All the cool kids are calling her a loser as she walks through the halls. And then she's like, incredibly confused.
But she has like a smile on her face. That's the worst part. She's like,
yeah, what?
Oh.
But then as more and more people are calling her loser, she realized something is wrong. So she runs to the bathroom.
At this point, she looks into the mirror and she sees the word loser printed on her forehead. And she freaks out, frantically tries to rub it off. She's having trauma again. It makes her nauseous. She goes into the bathroom and throws up.
And meanwhile, she is still wearing this
hidden camera.
So, what is his name? Greg? George is watching. Everyone back at the office is watching.
They have, for the time, whatever camera system they have is really good.
Excellent. I guess when you work for the Chicago Sun-Tribune, the Daily Bugle, you got some good,
some good
audio equipment.
Right. But she gets nauseous. She goes in the bathroom and she throws up. And while she's in the bathroom, she has a flashback to the night of prom. So we see her in her house. She's talking to her brother. She's super excited to go. And
she's
then
in this hideous dress,
pink dress,
that looks
poofs.
That looks like it's from 1983.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
She dresses like she's in.
Well, okay, if this movie is in 1999 and she's 25,
yeah, and that's the year she's in. She goes back to high school in 1999.
So wait, how old are you in?
18, let's say 18.
So what's that?
25 minus 18? How many years?
That's 7 years. So 1999 minus 7. So she was in high school in 1992. There's no reason for her to have that dress.
She dresses like the beginning of the 80s.
She dresses like it's 18.
She dresses like this is Pretty in Pink.
Yes, and baby, we 92. You should be dressing like Clueless, but you're dressing like The Breakfast Club.
Exactly. It's really bad.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. But anywho, she's ready for prom. She's in this ugly dress. She walks outside to see the limo arriving, and she sees Billy stick his head out of the sunroof.
He emerges out of the sunroof.
He's holding something.
Seconds later, though, as he emerges out of the sunroof,
yes,
a girl, a real popular girl, a pretty blonde-haired woman, emerges also out of the sunroof. And now Josie has like a confused look on herself. And then he pulls out something in his hand. And as the limo is driving by, it's a hard-boiled egg. And
not a hard-boiled egg.
It is hard-boiled.
It cracks.
It's a hard-boiled egg.
It's a regular egg.
It's cooked to some degree.
Okay.
It may not be fully cooked,
okay,
but that egg was in the microwave for at least 2 minutes.
Okay.
And he hums it at her, plunging into her forehead. And then he gets another one and takes it and like plunges at her groin. And he's like, write a poem about this freak. And she falls to the ground in tears.
I'd like to have a moment of silence. That was so sad.
Horrible.
Literally, I'm like, when I watched it and like thinking about it now, I kind of want to cry. It's just really bad.
I was getting emotional. That was vicious.
She acted her ass off because like literally the way she cries, it's too much.
Oh my god, that was vicious.
I have to remind myself this isn't real, but it is.
I have to remind myself that this is a happy movie. I was like, this is a comedy, people. This is a comedy.
It is so messed up.
Oh my god. It was just like it literally hits the center of her head. That had to have hurt like a bitch.
I know they're not real people, but I hope those characters and anyone who's ever done something like that to burn in hell on earth and like an afterlife.
That is someone's villain origin story.
Because
this is why Carrie
right
gained powers overnight and killed everybody.
I've never seen that movie. I need to watch it.
I've never seen that movie either. I'm too scared.
I think I'm in my horror.
You are in your horror
era.
I will never be in my horror ever.
And I don't think it can't be that bad.
Especially for the 70s, the budget, the quality.
The fake blood.
Yeah.
But back to, I'm sorry to this girl.
Sorry to this girl.
Don't
sorry,
bully
Josie.
people.
And then she runs off because her mom is like, Josie, is that you?
Sorry, I wrote down, this scene should be banned.
Not banned.
Take it out. It's too much. It's too intense.
So she runs off, and that kind of concludes her flashback.
No, you know what even makes me even sadder? Because she gets the eggs thrown out of her. Her mom comes out, Josie, and she runs off. She's too embarrassed to show her mom what happened. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Like, and then as a mom, could you imagine if you saw your...
Oh, my God. She spared her mom some serious heartache. Because I could not imagine seeing that happen to my daughter.
I think I would go to prom, and I think I would go to prom with a baseball bat.
I will pull up at that prom. Ain't none of y'all having a good time tonight. Ain't none of y'all.
I ain't gonna hit none of these kids with this bat, but prom is over.
Yes.
It's over.
None of y'all having no good time.
Ain't nobody.
Ain't nobody. Ooh! Ooh, ain't none of y'all graduating neither.
I'm taking the altar court.
Oh my God.
That's so sad. Okay. But back in present time, Josie is still...
Why does she have that flashback? She got hit in the head?
Because she's the loser thing. It's just reminding her of like just being bullied and like the worst time of her life. Mm-hmm. But back in school, she saw the loser in her face. She has a flashback. She threw up. She's running out of school. Tears are like starting to form in her eyes. But before she can make it out the door, a door like slams into her face and she passes out.
And she's hit. And then we see that the person who opened the door and slammed the door in her face, causing her to faint, was in fact her brother, Rob.
Yay, he's here to rescue her.
He's here to save the day. And he's like, Josie, wake up. It's me, Rob. And basically he tells her that he has now also enrolled into the school. Mm-hmm. And this is not only his opportunity to, get back into the swing of baseball. He's like, this is my 9th inning. I can do it. I can make the team, possibly go to college and, play baseball. This is my dream. And then she's like, what? Why are you doing this? But then he's like, I can also help you along the way.
Right.
And he's like, I'm naturally popular. People are going to love me.
2-for-1 deal.
And then all I have to do is say some good things about you and you'll be popular too.
There we go. That's how the world works. But at hearing this, Josie doesn't think that he can be popular. Just walk in here and be popular.
She was like, you're 23 years old.
Literally,
it doesn't work like that anymore.
Cut to lunchtime. We see Rob in the cafeteria. He's chugging a
bucket of
coleslaw, and the kids in the cafeteria are cheering, Rob, 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 Rob.
He finishes the bucket of coleslaw,
beating another popular kid.
And he's instantly a hoot, a riot. They all love him. They're like, oh my God, he's so hot, so cool, Rob.
How do you start a coleslaw eating contest?
Right. They're like, hey, I bet I can eat more coleslaw than you. I bet you can't.
Oh, yes.
I bet you I can. Bring out the coleslaw.
I think it's easy for guys to become popular because all you have to be is handsome and like kind of cool.
And yeah,
that's all you need.
I feel like the same can be said for girls. Like you have to be as pretty.
I think if you come in at the beginning of the school year, yes.
I think it's harder to maintain your popularity as a girl, but I don't think it's harder.
It is harder,
to maintain it.
It's hard to maintain it. But I feel like it might be hard to come in. Yeah, I guess if you're like pretty and yeah.
Oh, you're saying as a new person?
Yeah, as a new person.
Oh, yeah. If you're coming in as a girl and you're trying to be popular and you're a newcomer, oh yeah, no shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, for a guy, oh yeah, you're instantly like cool because you're like cool
mysterious.
And mysterious. Yes. Yeah. For sure.
So Rob is now officially popular. He's hanging out with the popular kids. After he ate the coleslaw, this girl came up to him, a 16-year-old gymnast, and she's
like, "I'm 16 and I'm a gymnast."
And he's
like, "That's cool.
This is problematic."
Yeah, and she's like, "I'm super flexible," and he's like,
"Gross."
I like that.
So after Rob has done his whole coleslaw eating thing, Josie is approached by Aldi's, and she's like, "Where were you last night? I was really worried. I tried calling you. You didn't answer." And then Josie's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I must have forgotten." And Aldi's like, "Well,
you can forget about sitting with us then."
Damn, Africa? It's like that?
Literally.
It's like that?
I was like, why is this scene Mean Girls? I was like, why is this Janice Ian? She's like, don't sit with us. I want my purple shirt back. I want my pink shirt back.
I make one mistake, but I appreciate Aldi. She's like, look, I already see you going down a dark road. Don't come hang with us.
No,
it was a lot.
She was tripping.
It was a lot.
I was like, she forgot to hang out with you one time and now you're banning her from the nerd table. Relax.
Right.
You're pulling a mean girl. Like, you think you're the leader of the nerds, and now that I just forgot about you one night, I can't hang out with y'all? Shut up.
I think the reason why she was so mad because her excuse was bad. Oh, sorry, I forgot.
I mean, yeah, the excuse wasn't good, but like,
I think if I call someone who's like, I'm so worried for you, what happened? You're like, I forgot. I'm like, girl, you better come up with a better excuse than that. I thought you were dead lying in a ditch.
I mean, that is fair, but still,
yeah, it's a lot. So. You can't make no mistakes with this girl. So the next scene is the school fair. It's nighttime. Josie, of course, is there by herself. She's really trying to do this whole investigating journalist thing. And she's about to ride the Ferris wheel, and the guy who runs the Ferris wheel, he's like,
we got someone alone. We got a loner. Anybody want to hop on this free ride with this loner? She's going by herself. She needs somebody to do it with her. She's all alone. Anybody?
She sucks.
And then she's like, sir, do you have to yell it like that? Of course I do, she says.
That's my job.
And then, of course, teacher Sam comes to save the day. And he's like, I'll hop on. And Josie thanks them. And then the Ferris wheel ride begins.
And the two are like basically, getting more.
They're getting closer. They're having this conversation. They're talking. Also above them on the Ferris wheel is two of the popular kids.
Poor girl.
Jessica Alba's character, and then one of the other popular guys who's not famous today, so his name is not relevant. But they are basically making fun of Josie and teacher Sam being together.
Which is fair. Like, this is inappropriate.
And then Sam is like, basically tells Josie, and he's like, I wish I could say all guys grow out of it and we stop being douchebags, but we don't. Some of us will act like this forever. And then she's like, basically like, why are y'all like this? And then he's like, I don't really know. And then he brings up his girlfriend, and he's like, even with my girlfriend, she wants me to move. And he's like, I don't know if I'm ready for that commitment. Right. And they're just basically having this one-on-one, this really deep heart-to-heart. And then something comes up, and he says something like, well, I can tell you, by the time you're my age, guys will be fiending for you.
Lining up.
And then she's basically like, well, you have to say that because you're my teacher. And then he responds, well, actually, I shouldn't be saying this because I am your teacher.
Yeah.
But y'all shouldn't even be sitting next to each other on this Ferris wheel
at night, all romantic. But they look so cute. They're like adorable.
They are very cute. He's like really he is crushing on her, and it's disgusting.
Oh,
because he thinks she's 17.
Now that makes me think about the prom scene. He's like, I need to tell you something. What was he gonna tell her?
I'm in love with you, and you're 17 years old.
Yes, sir.
When you turn 18, give me a holler.
When I was in high school, there was this teacher who started
dating one of the seniors.
Basically, I don't think she was a senior, so it was like they started dating immediately after she graduated, pretty much.
Oh no.
So like,
was he young?
I don't know. He looked old and white. He was young. He was probably young. He was probably like 25, no more than 30. But when I was in high school, he was old.
Right.
So like,
old when you're 17.
Yeah, but I was just, he could have been younger, honestly. But he did look old. But anywho, it was just like, oh my god, like when did y'all start this love affair?
That
like, were y'all in class together and you'd be like, hey,
that is crazy town.
And then like you graduate, and then we had another teacher, but he was way more like trying to get with the students.
Oh, that's.
But he was actually kind of cute.
Oh, was he?
But like he would like.
Was he old? That sounds like it's giving 40.
He was like, everyone. I wish I could go back, but everyone seemed
like they're 40.
Everyone seemed old, but he was probably 20. Same. He's probably 25, no more than 30.
Oh.
But like I know, like I heard rumors that he would try to hit like. At the graduation party, like he would go out with them.
Why was he at the graduation party?
I don't know. Like, and he would try to hit on them. And I'm assuming he must have slept with one or two of the girls, like the volleyball team. But I'll have to show you. I have to look at my yearbook and show a picture of him.
We didn't have anything like that. A teacher sleeping with any of the students. But what we did have,
I will say,
his name was Mr. Reuter.
Oh, gee.
He's a predator.
Oh.
I will say that full-heartedly with my chest. He should not be around schoolgirls. He was a creep, and he definitely had his favorites, and his favorites were the white girls. And you could tell he wanted to. He didn't touch around little high school girls.
Was he touching people's shoulders during class?
No, but he was just like a creep.
He felt
it. Weird, and he lived at home with his mom. That was his claim to fame. He lived at home with his mother. So I was
how old is he?
He was like, I think when I was like a freshman, he was like in his late 30s, like 38, 39.
Oh, okay.
So he was approaching 40. He was a real loser.
Have you heard about anything? Is he still at the school?
Probably, but I could just like little things like and it was very evident he didn't like any of the black girls. Like he was not a fan of the black students.
He said, "Didn't someone tell you it's an all white school?"
Didn't anybody tell you this was an all-white school? Somebody get these jigaboos out of my classroom.
Right.
And like just like little things. Like I remember there's this like when a popular girl would like say hey to him, he would like smile like straight for like 20 minutes. I was like, can you at least hide your boner, sir? Because we can all see it.
He's like, I need this.
So,
when they said hi.
Yeah, literally like, hey. And he would just like be cheesed out. Like I bared witness to it. I was like,
He's turned around. He's like, well, so I'm having a great day, everyone.
Yeah.
Gross. Eek. This is the only movies is the only way these things are romantic, because in reality they're gross.
It's pretty alarming.
Okay. So at the next day of school, after the whole Ferris wheel incident with Rosie and Sam, Rob is on his job. He's telling everyone how cool Josie is and how they used to date and how she broke up with him.
He is doing
the Lord's work.
He is doing a mass PR stunt.
Yes.
He is on tour.
Right.
He is doing a makeover. He is doing a press conference.
He's marketing, honey.
He is marketing her like no other. First, he's talking to like the popular guys, like Guy and James Franco. And basically, he's like, did you know Josie dated some guy in some band?
Right.
And they're like, oh my God, really? And then Guy's like, I always wanted to be in a band. And then,
and he's a singer. Okay,
he
got
really
it.
is in a band. Isn't that crazy? Then he tells like Jessica Alba, Kirsten, and Gibby that Josie is the heir to the X-Lax fortune and that she spends her summers in France
on a yacht.
And then he tells members of the baseball team that he dated Josie and that she broke up with him. And he was devastated, but they're still really good friends now. So he's putting in that work.
He's putting in that work.
He's putting in that work on the baseball field and on the press tour, getting Josie to be popular.
He's here for his sister. Love the support. Thank you.
And then, like, overnight, she's kind of like a sensation.
Yes. And then we see, so the next scene, we see Josie's in class, and the students are about to do a sex education seminar type thing. Anita, who is there at school, I'm not sure why she was there.
Don't know why she was there. But Josie's coworker, remember Anita?
She gets accidentally mistaken as a sex education teacher, which is like a fun scene. Not much, but she dives into it. She's helping them put on condoms and saying all this different stuff.
And she's like, y'all are too young to have sex, but if you do have sex, this is how you put it on. Everybody pretend this banana is a penis, but let's all be for real. No one's penis is the size of this banana.
Right. She said this is a man's dream.
A man's dream.
Even at one point, the real sex education teacher comes in and she Anita like shoots her away.
The door.
She's like, no.
She's really like stepping into this.
Right. She like loves this. It's her passion.
She's eating it up.
Okay.
Next, though, the student body president comes on the intercom and she announces to the school, bad news, guys.
What?
The rival high school is doing Millennium as their prom theme, too.
How dare they?
And the classroom instantly erupts in gas.
What? What are we gonna do?
Our high school lives are ruined. I was like, is it really that big of a deal?
Right. You're not going to the prom. Who cares?
Right. Y'all aren't going. Whatever.
Y'all could do a completely different thing. Y'all could have a same word, different idea. Or whatever.
So Teacher Sam is in the room and he's like, okay, everybody calm down. Let's brainstorm some ideas.
He is funny for Karen because I'd be like, it doesn't matter. He's like really like, okay, everyone calm down.
I would literally be like, hey, everyone, 5 years from now, none of this is going to matter. Like, it literally, what you wore, who you dated, what picture you took, the theme, and none of it is going to matter.
You won't remember it.
You won't remember. But anywho, he's like, okay, let's brainstorm some ideas. Anita suggests Under the Sea, and they're like, it's been done. Sam suggests the 80s. One of the popular girls is like, we're not amateurs. And then Guy stands up and he's like, you know what? Listen to me, everybody. Josie is going to tell us what to do. Josie is going to have the answer.
Is she the Messiah?
He literally is. He is literally. That's the pull that you have when you're the most popular guy in school in the 90s. Which you think everybody thinks.
He said that. He said, settle down, everyone.
You're the mouthpiece.
Turn to this beauty.
And listen to what she has to say. And then so Josie gets up. She's a little bit shocked. And she's like, well, what about famous couples from literature?
She said, met for each other.
Famous
couples throughout history.
And then everyone looks to Guy for his approval. And he's like, you know what? excellent. That's perfect. It's just gonna work. Then everybody's like, oh my god, yeah, that's so amazing. We love it. Oh my god, yeah, Josie, so great. Oh
I
God,
agree.
so
That's
smart.
actually a really cute idea, especially for prom, meant for each other.
It is. That is a really cute theme.
It's a really cute theme.
Still don't like how we're treating prom as a Halloween costume.
Yeah, they took it. We'll get there, but they took it way too far.
Like, if you're gonna do it, like, let's do Romeo and Juliet, not Ken and Barbie. Like, be for real.
We could do Ken and Barbie, but it has to be Ken and Barbie prom.
Prom, Ken and Barbie.
You wear a tux.
Let's do Cinderella and Prince Charming.
Yes.
Not freaking
Malibu.
Red Riding Hood and the wolf.
Yeah. Malibu
like
Barbie.
what?
But so at this, Josie has officially made her mark within the.
Is that
cool
thunder?
group. It is. It's supposed to rain really bad today.
Oh wow.
That's why I'm not going to French Quarter Fest. I'm going tomorrow. But anyway, Josie has officially made her her part in the cool group. We see her hanging out with them. We see her hanging out with Sam more. They seem to be falling more in love with each other, I should say.
Yeah, she's like at the mall with Kirsten, and Gibby.
Mean Girls moment.
We have like a little montage. Yeah, literally when they're walking through the mall, I was like, this is literally when Katie walks through the mall with freaking Regina.
Yeah.
And Katie, what was her name?
Regina.
Gretchen.
And
Karen through the mall.
And I will say, whatchamacallit, Josie is starting to look way better.
Oh, yeah. She has normal clothes on. Her hair doesn't look as blonde.
She's showing off her wonderful breasts.
Oh my god.
She has beautiful
her
boobs.
tits are tittying.
Yeah. She has
once she
beautiful
becomes
boobs.
popular.
Yeah.
Like,
She got the right bra.
yes.
She's really showing off her assets.
I'm like, is she even wearing a bra? I'm like, her titties just sitting that high? They look
amazing.
excellent.
Yes.
But anywho, she's hanging out with the mall. Even in one scene, like, she picks out a cardigan and then they all buy the same cardigan.
All right. Creepy.
And while they're in the mall making their way down the escalator, they run into LD's, and you can see that Josie and LD's now have a rift in their friendship. And LD's kind of says something snarky towards Josie and the rest of the girls.
It's like, hey, look,
But they carry on with their popularity, and Josie has fully infiltrated the popular clique.
And I will say, back at the office, they're all watching. So they're still watching everything.
At the
and
office,
the crowd is growing. Usually, at first, it was like 2 people watching the scene, the storyline. Now it's like half the whole office tuning in.
The whole copy entering department.
Everyone. So now Josie's back at the office. She's showing off her new style, her new vibe, her new confidence. She's happy. She doesn't really care about words making sense anymore. And she has another meeting with the editor-in-chief, and he's like, I've been watching, the whole video. I like it. But I need you to have a story in 2 weeks or you and Gus are fired. Ouch. So I get to it. And Gus looks at her and she looks at Gus and he's like, you better find a story. And she's like worried, but she's on it.
Word, Jiman.
So that night, Josie attends a cool people party, which is actually Rob is throwing, her brother. So it's at their house.
So it's at their house.
Yeah.
But she's pretending like it's not her house.
It's not right. And she pulls up in the driveway like so nonchalantly. I'm like, girl, we know you live here. So her brother, who's 23 years old, is there with the 16-year-old gymnast, and he's crushing on her hard. The gymnast I think her name's Tracy, tells Josie that guess who's taking me to prom? It's your brother, Rob.
And so Josie pulls Rob aside and she was like, basically, this girl's 16. What you're doing is illegal and it's very wrong. And then while she's having this conversation with Rob, Guy appears behind Josie and he's ultimately like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? And then Rob was like, well, I'll see you in the jail cell with me. Because you're doing the same thing I'm doing. So Josie goes off with Guy. They go upstairs to Josie's room. Guy doesn't know that this is Josie's room. She tries to pretend like it's not.
He makes comments about how big of a loser Rob's little sister is.
Yeah, he's like, oh my god, whoever Rob's little sister is, she's a dork. And she's like, yeah,
that's
totally. So Rob is basically giving her like this little speech, and he's like, I know we didn't really like hit it off initially, but I can't stop thinking about you, and I think you're really great, and I think you're really awesome. And I know you probably have already heard about prom, but and that I wanted to ask you, but I wanted to ask you in person. And he's like, will you go to prom with me?
Oh.
And of course, all of her high school dreams are like coming true. And of course she says, yes, I will. And he said, great. And he's like, how do you want to go about this? And she was like, well, you can meet me here and we can all ride together with Rob and his date.
Let's do it.
And then he's like, all right, let's do it. And then he kind of leaves.
Yes. And she's
I think it's very interesting that they don't kiss. But
thank God.
But she can't.
Yeah.
But like he doesn't like try or anything. He's just like, he like literally asks her and he's like, all right, bye.
Right. You thought they were having kissing, but thank God. The production was like, we can't. There's a line.
We can't have her kiss a 17-year-old.
So the next day at school, Josie is talking to, I think, Rob, and she's basically saying how excited that she's finally fitting in. And
they're walking through the halls, baby. They're like, Rob, Josie, like, they are they are the celebrities of the high school. They're like, Rob, great party last night. Josie, you look so pretty. Oh my God, Josie. Like, they are the it mother cluckers in the high school.
Right.
It's so cute.
It is so cute.
It's so cute to see. Like, they're flourishing together as a brother and sister.
As 20-plus-year-olds in high school. They're doing it. But Josie's really excited, and she's so excited to be finally fitting in.
And she says to Rob, she was like, I've waited my entire life to like fit in, and I feel like it's actually happening.
So sad.
And it's so adorable.
At this point, that she's talking about that. In the background, we see Aldi. Aldi is trying to buy her prom tickets for her and her friends, and the cool kids are not having it. They're like, you can't buy a ticket.
We can't sell you a ticket. And then she's like, do y'all not understand how math works?
Oh, she's like,
I pay for the ticket, you give me my change, and then I take the ticket and I leave. And
she does that. She does just that. She throws the money, she takes her ticket, and she gone.
And to their dismay, I don't know. They are very annoyed, and they're like, we have to get her back. And they basically plot to get their revenge on Aldiz.
For 2 words, as she said, Jesus.
For buying a ticket to prom.
So while that's going on, Josie is off talking with Sam, and he's basically like, hey, I arranged a meeting with you from Dartmouth rep. We see that he like really cares for her and her future, even though she already has one. And and I think he says, like, I believe you're an amazing student. I really want you to go to college. But
you're an amazing writer.
Yes. So basically you see him like really supporting her and like loving her and like, you know, looking out for her. But back at the office, Gus is
replaying the footage of Josie talking to Sam, and Gus is basically like, this is the story.
This is it?
Sam is the story. That's it. And Josie's like, huh? What? No. And then he's like, Josie, it's either this or it's nothing. Like, come on. We're like a month into this. We need a story, and it's gonna be him. And
close teacher student relationships. And he's gonna be the forefront. But my thing is, there's a lot wrong going here. 1, her brother is dating a 16-year-old. That's a story. 2, there's a 25-year-old pretending to be a high schooler. That's a story. I feel like to put Sam.
That's the story in and of itself.
Yeah.
Her being a 25-year-old in high school. Like, all she had to do was just talk about her entire experience.
That would have been perfect, right?
That's all she had to do. She was like, I came in, I was a loser, somebody helped me get popular, and now I'm popular. And I'm 25. Hello?
Right. Tell about the stresses and the ups and downs of being in high school.
Right.
Also, all you had to do was ask a high schooler. All you had to do was pick a high schooler and ask them about their experience. But
literally.
This
but for whatever reason, we're going with Teacher Sam as the hot button topic.
Terrible. So Josie's not happy to hear about this, but Gus is like, let me remind you that if this doesn't work out, we will both be fired. So get it together.
So now we're at prom night. Tonight's prom.
Tonight.
Josie arrives at her parents' house to meet Rob, and she is dressed as Rosalind from Shakespeare. I don't know what novel or I don't know which play this one is.
But it's like
and
Victorian
then Rob
dress.
is dressed up as Tom Cruise from Risky Business.
You know it.
Very on brand. So they have a little heart to heart again, and she was like, just thank you for everything that you've done. Like, it feels like I've like had a 180 over a night, and I know it's all to you. And he's like, anything for you, sis. Love their relationship. Aww. It's just so freaking cute.
So cute.
And then, after she has her little heart to heart with Rob, she goes to the door, and now Guy is pulling up in a limo, very similar to what we saw when she was in high school and she thought she was going to the prom with Billy and he pulled up in a limo. Guy emerges out of the sunroof with a white substance in his hand and Josie instantly like flinches out of fear. But he pulls out a rose and he's like, come on, beautiful, let's go. Hop in the car. Let's skedaddle. Lovely. And then she is excited now to be going to prom as now one of the most popular girls in school.
Yeah, Tanti. So at prom, we see the cool girls. They're dressed as Malibu Barbie, Disco Barbie, and Evening Gown Barbie. Very on brand because, you know, Barbie is making a comeback right now because the new Barbie movie is coming out, and I'm very excited for it.
Very.
But they look ridiculous. They're not... Jay, do you want to talk about their costumes? I know, Jay, you hate this.
Oh, my God. It's just... This is prom. This is a prom, people. This is, y'all are seniors. This is supposed to be the most important night of your lives. Y'all are literally dressed in bathing suits and y'all have on blonde wigs. One of the girls, literally little ass cheeks were hanging out. First of all, there should be a dress code. Of all, let's start there. Right. And then prom, I want to see makeup. I want to see gowns. I want to see tuxes. I want to see floor-length dresses. I want to see Cinderella ballroom outfits. Why are y'all dressed like y'all are going to the beach?
Right.
This is prom. This is not a Halloween party.
I know. I want Met Gala. You guys are giving Halloween.
It's upsetting, but nonetheless, carry on.
Carry on. So yes, go.
All of the cool people meet at the front of the doorsteps. You know, Jessica Alba, Christy Gibby, their dates, Guy. Everybody's there. And then they go in. They enter the ballroom, the location, the event, the venue. Yeah, the venue.
And even everyone at the office, they're sitting around. They're also very excited to watch this live stream of prom night. Mm-hmm. It's a big night for everyone.
It's a big night.
So we see Rob there with his date Tracy, who
is very drunk
and drinking. And she basically tells Rob, "Hey, I have something to tell you. I've been thinking, and I want to lose my virginity to you tonight.
I think we should go all the way.
I'm a virgin, and I really want to make this happen."
And she's like, "I know you're the one." And Rob, I think it's finally setting into him that, this girl's 16. Yeah. And he's like, ooh. It probably wasn't even that. It was probably the fact that he said she was the one. And he's like, commitment. That was probably
the commitment.
It's the commitment. Not the fact that you're 16. I can get behind that. It's me having to commit to you.
He's like,
a lot. So he's like, you know what? You stay here. I'm going to go get us some punch. Mm-hmm. So he leaves her. And then
we see Aldi and her crew arrive as DNA double helix, whatever that means. They're all wearing the same outfit. It's like
they're all in like white morph suits,
and then they're all like tied together like it's DNA. But the cool kids are not happy to see them. They're like,
"Why are they here?
Why are they here? Why are they wearing this? Please go."
Like they could be casting any judgment for what anybody is wearing.
Also, they act like this is gonna make and break their high school. Like, who cares what they dress like? You know, it's just prom.
That's the mindset when you're an evil person in high school.
Toxic. So all the normal cool kids make it, and then they announce the prom king and queen. So all the normal cool kids make it on the prom court.
Wait, this is important. So Sam is on stage. He announces the prom court. Of course, the women of the prom court are Kristen, Kirsten, and Gibby, and then the males are James Franco's character, the other popular guy whose name is not important, and then Rob. So now it is down to announce the prom king and queen. Prom king, Guy, of course, is announced as prom king. Of course. And Josie's like, whoa.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Who's left?
And then so now it is time to announce the prom queen. And Josie Mother-clucking Geller is announced as the, I don't know the name of the high school, 1999 prom queen.
Look at that growth.
Look at this full circle moment we have here.
OMG. Started from the bottom. Now we are here.
And so she and Guy have their, prom king and prom queen dance. And they're talking, and Guy's basically like, Josie, I've never felt this way about any girl like this before. And he's like, you rock my world. He's like, you're so crazy and so smart, and you rock my world. And Josie's like, you said that already. And he's like, yeah, I did.
At this moment, she realized like how shallow and There's nothing there.
He's like, tell me what you're thinking about. And she's like, oh, I'm thinking about Rosalind and Orlando and how their love was so everlasting. La, 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 la. And then he's like, oh, I'm thinking about my sword.
Right.
And she's like, okay, well. And then so while she's having her dance, Sam is looking at her longingly and almost as if he wishes that he was the one dancing with her.
Calm it down.
So once the dance concludes, Josie goes to like the refreshments table to get some cake.
It's hard being popular.
And Sam comes up to her and they're having their little moment and he ultimately asks if he can have a dance with her. Totally inappropriate.
Wrong. Who is chaperoning him?
Right.
Is there someone chaperoning who's like, y'all can't do that?
And where's the principal?
Oh my God.
Where's the superintendent?
My gosh. That's so
wrong.
Where's
the vice principal?
Where's anybody?
The teacher with morals?
Is no one looking at this? Even the students should know. Yeah,
this is wrong.
They shouldn't do that.
So they go have their dance. Meanwhile, Guy goes up to LD's and is like, hey, it's prom night. I want to put the past behind us. And I was just wondering if I could have a dance with you. And Aldiz looks at him and she says yes. And she is very surprised that he's asking her this, but she agrees to a dance with the most popular guy in school. And of course, she's a little excited about it.
Which is really sad because he did seem very genuine about it.
I honestly still feel like there's a part of me that he was genuinely asking. I feel like there's a part he genuinely wanted to dance with her.
So he can throw some food on her,
See, this is what I'm talking about. I don't know if he's good or bad. I don't think he was in on it. I don't want him to
Are you serious?
I don't know.
Jade.
Okay, but then when I watched it and like they're literally about to throw the can on her, he's literally watching, so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Don't give him the benefit of the doubt.
I want him to be good.
He's not. He's either.
I don't want him to be, though.
So, Sam and Josie are still having their dance moment. He basically tells her that, one, he broke up with his girlfriend, and he's basically saying how amazing Josie is, and that, he's like, can I tell you something? So he's basically about to express, his feelings for her. At this moment, Josie's like, I want to tell you something too. She takes off but at this point, she disconnects her little camera, and they're, I'm assuming, about to confess their love for each other. And while they're doing that...
Well, she's about to confess that she's a reporter.
Oh,
he's about to confess
his love to her. This is true. While that's going on, before, they can both say what they wanted to truly say, Josie sees out of the corner of her eye the mean people doing some BS. So she sees them standing close to where Aldi's and Guy are with a can of... Is it dog food? Dog food. And she realizes they're about to throw the dog food on Aldi's. And at this moment, she interrupts it. She's like, no! And she hits the can of dog food out of their hands. It flies on the three popular girls, Kirsten, and
Gibby. Because Josie, a
former
repeat offender of ridicule, knows a prank when she sees it. She knows when somebody's about to be ridiculed. So she instantly intervenes. The dog food gets on the more popular girls in school. And they are pissed. And they yell at Josie. And they're like, you've totally ruined prom. You so don't deserve to be prom queen. I knew you were a loser.
You didn't know anything.
And then Josie's like, shut up.
Let me tell you something. I don't care about being your stupid prom queen. I'm 25 years old. I'm an undercover reporter for the Chicago Sun-Times, and I have been beating my brains out trying to impress you people. Let me tell you something, Gibby, Kirsten, Kristen. You will spend your lives trying to figure out how to keep others down because it makes you feel more important. Why her? Let me tell you something about this girl. She is unbelievable. I was new here and she befriended me, no questions asked. But you were only my friend after my brother, Rob, posed as a student and told you to like me. Mommy, Rob? Ew. All of you people, there is a big world out there, bigger than prom, bigger than high school, and it won't matter if you were the prom queen or the... the quarterback of the football team or the biggest nerd in school. Find out who you are and try not to be afraid of it.
She cracks.
Shut the hell up!
She's not even like, let me go home and like, this is the last day I do the whole reporting thing. She's like, I'm telling the truth.
She's like, you know what? She's like, at one point I would have cared about what you think. I'm 25 years old. I'm too old for this shit.
She could have left that part out. She was like, literally, I'm 25, I'm a reporter. I was like, oh, she really diving in.
She could have wasted no time.
She could have been like, I don't care what you have to think. But she was like, I'm 25, I'm a reporter. And then she runs off and a slow clap begins.
And then everyone kind of looks at Rob and is like, oh, so like you're also
20,
not supposed to be in high school too? And then he kind of makes a run for it as well.
Yes. So outside, Josie.
And then what we don't notice is Sam also runs off too. When she reveals.
He said.
The second she said 25, he's like, I'm out of here. He's like, I thought you were 17.
Oh. He's like, this doesn't work if you're not 17.
Did anybody tell you this was an underage party? Someone get this old hag away from me.
What if that was like low-key the case? He was like, I actually don't want you old. I want you 17.
He's like, I don't want you anymore.
Gross. But outside Sam overhears Josie talking with George about the live feed and it cutting off and how Gus is going off about like what happened. He
does?
Yeah. And like that's going on and Sam's sitting right outside so he can hear everything. And how George asks, like, did she get the story on Sam and that whole thing? And at this point, Sam, shows himself and he's basically tells her, like, he's hurt by her lies.
He can't look at her the same.
Right.
And then she was like, if you just give me some time, like, we can get to know each other again. And he was like, you tried to use me for a story.
Ouch.
So, surprise.
Surprised you were doing a story on me?
No, I couldn't. I mean, surprised. I was hoping.
What? What, you were hoping what that I'd be happy? Why? Because it turns out all of a sudden I was allowed to be attracted to you?
You were attracted to me?
Damn it, Josie. You set me up for a story.
No, I
just drop the act. Okay? I mean, every word out of your mouth has been a complete lie. I don't know you at all.
Look, if we could just spend some time together, you could get to know me again. Wait, please don't walk away.
I just can't look at you the same way.
So, Josie's upset. She heads home. She gets back to her house, her real house, and she finds Rob there, who is also very angry with her.
He is pissed. And he's like, you literally ruined everything that I had going for me. Literally, the day before the big championship game that he was supposed to play in, he exposes her. And he was like, not only did you ruin this for yourself, but you have just ruined it for me. And he's pissed at her.
What was the end game, though? When was she going to stop? Was she going to make it all the way to graduation? Was she just going to stop coming one day? What was the end game?
Right. She probably would have made it to, she probably would have done till graduation.
Oh.
It probably would have, until the end of the year, yeah.
Like, oh.
And then she probably wouldn't have said anything. She probably would have just released the story. That would have been crazy.
It'd be even crazier because, these mother lovers ain't reading no newspaper. It's going to take one person and be like, did you read that article? And it's like spread like wildfire.
Like wildfire. So Rob is pissed at her and she apologizes and she was like, I wasn't thinking. I didn't even think about that. And he was like, yeah, you weren't thinking. And then so the next day at work, all of this has been ultimately for nothing because the same magazine or the same rival newspaper that's been getting all their stories has now wrote a story on Josie and how that she was undercover as a 25-year-old in high school.
How did they figure out who was working there? Who is their source?
Who has the inside scoop?
Right.
Who's the mole here?
Who's the mole here? And why didn't Josie just do what they did? Like, why?
Literally.
You don't have to go undercover as a child.
Like, we're going to lose our jobs. We're fired. You dropped the ball on this. Not only did we not get the story, but you let our rival newspaper write the story. And then Josie's like, it's not over yet. I will get you a story. She was like, I know you're mad at me. I know you're pissed, but I will get a story.
Yes. Bless you, Josie. So in the next scene, we see Josie in like suit. She's like, I'm grown up Josie now. She's back at high school. She goes to the baseball team's locker room and she goes to speak with the coach. And she's basically like, what would you do for me if I can guarantee you at the championship game that I can give you all the newspapers, I can give you a big crowd,
I can give you some of the top like baseball scouts in the city of Chicago. And he's basically like, well, I'd say you'd have anything, you can get anything you want, little lady. And she's like, great.
And that thing is basically her brother's gonna be the coach. We're gonna find out.
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah, he becomes the coach.
I thought it was I can have these 5 minutes.
Oh, I'm sure that's part of it. But my brother's the coach.
Oh, I just thought.
Oh, that probably that too.
It, but maybe so. Yeah. Okay.
So and then we see Josie's plans to write an account of her experience in high school, and that's what she's doing. You see her writing her article, but it's like an internal monologue. But in it, she admits that she's never been kissed, and she describes the students of the high school that she was at, and then she vows her love for Sam.
Someone once told me that to write well, you have to write what you know. This is what I know. I'm 25 years old, and I have never really kissed a guy. Reading history. I received an assignment, my first as a reporter, to go back to high school and find out about kids today. What I ended up finding was myself, and that high school hasn't changed. There's still that one teacher who marches to her own drummer. Those girls are still there. The ones that even as you grow up will remain the most beautiful girls you have ever seen close up. The smart kids, who everyone else knew as the brains, but I just knew them as my soulmates, my teachers, my friends. And there's still that one guy with his mysterious confidence who seems so perfect in every way. The guy you get up and go to school for in the morning. I lived a lifetime of regret after my first high school experience, and now, after my second, my regrets are down to one. A certain teacher was hurt on my path to self-discovery, and although this article may serve as a step, it in no way makes up for what I did to him. To this man, you know who you are. I am so sorry. And I would like to add one more thing. I think I am in love with you.
And that she hopes that this article that she is writing is the start to her apologizing to him. Mm-hmm. And that she will be at the baseball game. 5 minutes, she will stand out at the center of the field and wait for him, hoping that he will come to her and kiss her.
For the first time, her first kiss.
Her first kiss.
So the whole city's reading this. They're all moved by it, and they're like, everyone's
reading the paper. The only person who's not reading the paper is Teacher Sam, who has yet to see the freaking paper.
You're right. I wonder what makes him read it.
Yeah, we don't, because like literally he has the newspaper and he's packing up. To go to New York.
Yes.
To be with his girlfriend.
Yeah, I'm assuming, right?
Right.
My thing is like, if I there has to be like an insurance clause. Like someone needs to. I know this in the newspaper, but like someone needs to go in his house and like, hey, by the way, she wrote this.
Right.
Because I would have paid him. I'd have been like, I give you $5,000 to show up on the baseball field. We need a good story.
Literally. We need this to happen.
Yeah. So that night at the baseball game, Josie awaits her moment to go in the field and wait for Sam. Everyone is there to support her. Aldi is there, which makes me happy because that means they're still going to be friends, even though some people think they're not going to be friends after this.
Whatever. Anita's also there. All the popular kids are there.
Her coworkers are there.
Kirsten, Gibby, James, Franco, Guy.
They're rooting for her too.
They're all rooting for her.
And Josie steps out into the baseball field and the clock runs and
the clock begins to run. We watch her stand out there for the full 5 minutes.
No Sam.
And at the beginning, it's like, the press is there. People are taking pictures of her. It's super exciting. Everyone's like cheering. And then as the time just starts dwindling down more and more, it gets a little bit more quiet, a little bit more sad, a little bit more pathetic. And then eventually the clock runs out and he is nowhere to be found.
But on the verge of giving up, soft cheers from the crowd give way to a booming roar as Sam emerges to give a romantic kiss.
And he runs to that field. He gets to her. He pulls her, and he's like, sorry it took me so long. It just took me forever to get here. And then she says something to the effect like, I understand the feeling. And they kiss. And it's a beautiful kiss. And it looks like the world literally just stops for a moment. And they're the only two people there. So cute. And they make out. Side note, when I was doing my research, when they filmed this scene, apparently he was saying, like, the real guy who plays Sam, he said he, like, had a little crush on her at the time.
Love.
And he was, like, a young man at the time. And when they kissed, apparently he didn't expect her to go in like she did. And he ultimately got a boner. And
oh, goodness.
He was like, he had called cut. And he was like, cut. And he, like, bent over, and he was like, oh, my back is hurting, guys. To, like, hide his boner. Oh. And he, like, ran to the corner, and he said he had to, like, start thinking of, like, dead puppies and, like, dying cats. And he was like, okay, I'm ready now.
That's so cute, actually.
Isn't it?
It is kind of cute. He really had a crush on Drew Barrymore. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, so in an alternate universe, I want them to date now.
Yeah, isn't that adorable?
That is adorable.
Not gonna happen, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they share a passionate kiss, and Josie, you know, she gets the moment she's always been waiting for.
I can't.
And then we see in the dugout, we see someone, we see their back, and the jacket that they have on their body says assistant coach. And it turns around, and it is Rob.
Yay.
And Rob is now the assistant coach of the baseball team, and he's like, that a girl.
Love that story. I love that story for him.
Yes. And we have an amazing ending.
Yes, a great ending. Everyone's happy. Even Anita is dating Gus now. They kiss. Everyone's found the lover.
I think this one is not really talked about as one of, like, the, you know, best, you know, 90s teenage coming of age rom-coms, but it's a solid.
It's too much cringe. Like, I don't know how often I could watch this. It's just too sad. The sad moments are really hard to watch.
It's so good, though.
It is really good. The cringe moments are
cringy.
They're really hard.
But
thanks for coming, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for listening to us watch and talking about us watch and spoiling it. And don't forget to tell your friends.
Stay tuned for
to
the
download.
Next one we got on. You know,
subscribe.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, and review. Even if it's a bad review.
And wish Jade good feelings about her tryouts.
Yes. Send me positive vibes, positive energy, people. Going for the 3rd year in a row. Thanks.
Woo. Okay, bye.
Right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.